guess I'll start. Hello, everybody. My name is Danielle Jones, and I'm a senior at Southwest DeKalb High School, and I'm also a dual enrollment student.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Alexander Jovanic. I'm a junior at Shamley Charter High School.
All right, so the first question is, how has virtual learning affected your GPA? So my virtual learning has been a lot different than everyone else's because I am doing full dual enrollment. I take most of my classes at Georgia State University Perimeter College, and our classes are already on an online format. So I started last year in March when everything started to be remote, and it was difficult at first. We had to get used to the new software, but because our teachers were already familiar with using an online format, it was easier to adapt. And since I am doing college classes, we don't get any extra Zoom time. Most of our classes are asynchronous, so it's really working at your own pace. So all you really have is a deadline, and you're just working up until that deadline.
I think mine was somewhat similar to hers. I did not do dual. I stayed in school, so I think it boosted my GPA. Not in a good way, though. I think teachers were still adapting, students were still adapting, and then I found class was just a lot easier. But we didn't learn as much in the beginning. I think now teachers have adapted very well, and students are adapted to the new online learning, and I think we're back to learning at a continuous pace and getting ready for our next year or AP exams and final exams.
Great. So pandemic learning, good, bad, ugly. The bad part about it is discipline. If you are not self-disciplined, you cannot complete anything. You will not get anything done. Since you're in your own home, especially for doing your work in your bedroom, you are going to have a hard time getting up and doing the work you need to do because you see your bed right there. Like in that space, you have such a comfortable mindset that you need to break it to do this work. So when I start to work, I'll come downstairs, I'll leave my room. I have to leave my room because I can't do any work. But I like online learning because it gives me a lot of freedom to do whatever I want to do. If I complete the work, I feel like I can spend this other time doing things elsewhere. I am my yearbook chief co-editor, so I spend a lot of time on the yearbook, and then I also dance. So I've spent a lot of time at practice because I can get my work done earlier in the morning, and I don't have to sit through a lecture. But our lectures are recorded, so I can take my notes, just do everything at my own pace. So if you're a very disciplined person, this is a very good format for you. But some of my friends have been having issues, not just with discipline, because they're just used to someone explaining things to you. And in this format, if you don't get enough information, you have to go get it yourself. You have to look for the extra answers. You can look for the in-depth responses because the teacher's not going to be there to see that you're struggling. So you have to make sure that you speak up. And if you're having an issue, you need to email your teacher, your counselor, your support specialist. You need to email someone because nobody wants to see you struggle. And that's the issue with a lot of my friends is they don't know how to reach out. So if you are feeling like you're falling backwards, please reach out to somebody.
Yeah, that was perfect. I mean, it's all about discipline, making sure you know what you need to do and when you need to get it done. I feel towards the beginning of this school year and the end of last school year, it was pretty bad. I mean, teachers were, it was all in a mess. We didn't know when we had class, on what platform. But I felt as we progressed through the second semester or first semester last year, we got better. Teachers were adapting to the technology, learning more. The school system also worked more on the schedule. And I think, yeah, we're at a good place now. So, yeah.
I totally agree. When we ended class on a random Thursday in March, the world was very discombobulated. We didn't know what to do. We were just trying to get by. But this new school year, what we started in August, we've been very put together, very organized. You know what to do, when it's due, how to reach your teachers. And we recently switched from Google Classroom to Teams. So now we're in a different format for meetings and for synchronous days and learning. Last semester, I did take 2 high school classes. I took financial literacy and business and technology. And for those classes, we were synchronous. And the learning format is a lot easier because we learn Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday is our asynchronous days. So that's when you catch up on anything you feel like you're falling behind. And then you have Thursday, Friday. And with late work, you have an opportunity to turn it in up to a certain date. So it's always just discipline and just keeping yourself motivated, because it is crazy. Life is crazy. It's not normal. Things aren't going to be how they used to be. And I look back on it like, how did I wake up at 5 a.m., go to school at 7, and then leave at 3:15, and then drive an hour to dance and stay at dance for 4 hours and drive an hour home and still get all my work done and go to all these clubs? Like, but then you realize like that you did it and it got done. So it's just self-motivating yourself. Just keep it pushing.
And I think another good thing from this online learning is teachers have most definitely gotten more used to and like more adapt to online learning and like using technology. I've heard a lot of my teachers say, even when we do go back, we'll still be using like online resources, just Google Classroom. Like they provided like such a good platform for teachers to send work out, get deadlines, and I think it did have some positives. So yeah.
So the next question is, how have your parents been handling things? Honestly, my parents have been handling things a lot better than me. There's this business communications course. It's the last course in our pathway, but it's unavailable at the school for this semester. My parents are fighting for me to email the principal so I can take the course, because since it's online and it's in a self-work format, that I should take it. They want me to do as much as I can because we're at home, and they're like, you can get so much done. Just keep taking courses. Just keep going. And my mother's in healthcare. She's a pharmacist, so she's been working a lot. She has to go into the office. She's been pushing, she's been moving. So she's my biggest motivation, because I see her getting stuff done to help people. And I know I can play my part by staying at home and doing my work.
So both my parents work. So I think with us staying home, I have 2 younger brothers. They've definitely had to put a lot more trust in us. But I think it's helped teach us to be more independent, because we have to look out for each other. So they've handled it pretty well. But yeah, it's definitely had impacts on not only my family, but many families across the county and country.
Yes. When it was kind of weird at first just being with my parents a lot, like when they don't work and just being with them all day. It was like, hey guys, but you kind of get used to it. It's just, I have my time, they have their time, and then we have our time together. So it's like when we're working, we're all working, going in, doing our stuff. And then when my dad has so the judicial system is online too. They do court on like Zoom, on a Zoom format. So when he's doing his hearings, his doors closed, he's focused. So we all have to set our times, and we all have our boundaries. All right. So
the next question. Yeah, comfortable going back into the classroom, even if you go to college. I think I'd feel more comfortable if like teachers and staff were like vaccinated, or if the teachers and staff felt comfortable going back. I think college, I would feel comfortable going back, just because I feel they have a better handle on it. But I think for now, I don't think I'd feel comfortable going back this semester. Possibly next semester, when there's more vaccines getting out, and there's more precautions being taken.
So with college, I think I would be good with going back in college. So yes, next year. I graduate this year. My next semester at school will be in college. And I feel more comfortable going back in college because I feel like that is a bubble setting where we are living, eating, working. We're all doing everything together on campus. So if we all take responsibility and we get tested and we're all negative, that is a bubble setting. Of course, we'll still wear a mask and social distance, but we need to it's a bubble setting. So I'm not worried about people leaving and coming back and bringing stuff in, like in a regular school setting or a high school setting. how are they doing admissions for college? This is a great question. My October was full of Common App. My only browser up was Common App. So this year, since COVID, and SAT and ACT testing has been limited, especially in DeKalb County. DeKalb County was not offering any testing sites. So a lot of schools have dropped that requirement that you need an SAT or ACT score to apply. And my biggest thing was I got in, but what about these scholarships that rely on your SAT and ACT scores? Well, they took my merit-based scholarships straight off my GPA. And I was so happy because I was not expecting to get any scholarships because I was like, I didn't take SAT, I didn't take ACT. OMG, what am I going to do? And then they rolled in from my GPA. So I was super happy. And I'm glad that I didn't have to stress to get it done because I was planning to I scheduled the SAT my junior year.
Sorry about that. I'm using my cell phone, the wonders of technology. So I'm going to actually mute this so we don't have the feedback and I can hear you through my phone. I'm going to turn it to the side and we're going to make it do that. But y'all are doing excellent, by the way. Y'all are leaders. I want y'all to keep going, and I'm actually going to kind of keep this type of questions and let y'all run this because y'all
okay.
So I'm going to turn off one of these cameras and keep going. Just keep going. Keep going.
Okay.
So yeah, admissions.
Yes. So I was doing SAT. I scheduled it for June of the COVID year, 2020. And I was devastated because I was like, OMG, I'm not going to get into college. I'm going to cry. And then, but schools started dropping the SAT requirement one by one. And finally, UGA dropped it. And I was super happy. And I was like, finally, UCLA dropped it at first. But then I was waiting for the last school, UGA, to drop it. But still, schools in Florida are requiring it. But I didn't apply to any schools in Florida. But this admissions process has been a lot easier because everything is online. I can email anyone I need for letters of rec. Everyone's by their computers. I get them really fast. Everything's just really smooth. You can call the admissions counselor. And the best thing about this is the online virtual tours and face-to-face meetings with the college administrators and the college admissions for your district. Take advantage of those meetings. I was never interested in going to Ohio University until I took one of these college university meetings with this lady, and she literally changed my whole mindset on college and university. And she gave me a scholarship hookup link. Like, you need to talk to these people because they are here to help you. And since we're all at home, reach out to them anytime you need to.
Hello, really quickly, we have another student joining us. Can you go ahead and introduce yourself, what grade you're in, and what school you go to?
Hi, my name is Zainab Sirajo. I'm a senior at Stevenson High School.
Awesome. So some of the questions, one of the first questions that Alexander will let you pick up as well was kind of the first question, I believe, was how are you doing with learning during the pandemic? What's been kind of the good, the bad, the ugly that you've been experiencing so far?
For me, I think it's been pretty good. I'll be honest. My first semester was a little hard because it was a little harder than I'm used to. Second semester, I think probably because, college applications and such, we had to do a lot of virtual visits because we can't go on campus and things like that.
Awesome. And what grade are you in one more time? Okay.
12.
So we had a question that Danielle just finished. Alexander, you're a junior, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So even with you, you can answer this, and then can you say your name for me one more time? Zainab. Okay. Alexander, you continue with that admissions question. How has your college application been going? And then Zainab, you go ahead with yours. You can answer that same question.
So definitely more accessible. Like Danielle said, with the online college visits and tours, I've attended a lot of Zoom meetings for different colleges. Those have been excellent. So I'm thankful for those. And then also I've started applying or started looking at the application process, and everything's moved online. For West Point, which is where I'd like to attend, they've moved everything online. You have to take your the physical fitness test, you video yourself at home. I mean, everything's just moved online, which I think has made it a lot more easier for students. So yeah.
Awesome. Zainab?
Okay, yeah, college applications at first were a little tough getting used to, but as I started working on more and more colleges, it got a lot easier just connecting with all the admissions officers and asking questions and such like that.
The wrong one's muted.
We can't hear you anymore.
Your mic is a little bit low. I was going to say check your volume as well. And I'm running two different things here. So we're going to, we're going to make. All right, the next question I see here is, what do you miss most about being on campus or being in school? What are some of the things you miss most now that you're in this environment, and how are you interacting with your friends?
I guess I'll start. I just miss like the keep it moving environment. Like the mornings, everyone's moving, just moving and moving. Everything feels a lot slower paced right now. And when I was at school, everything was fast, keep it moving. My junior year, I ran the school's coffee shop. So I was up early in the morning, working, keep it pushing. It just felt like everything was a lot faster. I miss our pep rallies so much. They were so much fun. I love our band. Southwest DeKalb High School band. Love them. They're the best. I miss going to games, basketball games. I just miss like just seeing everybody, and I miss having a good time. And I miss our speakers sometimes. Like we'd have people come in and speak to us at assemblies. We've had Rock Yassine. He's a graduate of Southwest DeKalb High School, and he plays for the Colts, I believe, in the NFL. So I just miss the special surprises, those crazy days where we'd have food trucks come because we worked so hard on a test or something. Just the reward days.
Yeah, most definitely the social aspect of it. Seeing friends, I mean, even teachers. I felt when interacting in school in person, I mean, at least for myself, I learn a lot better as a hands-on person. So seeing teachers explain stuff, go over labs and whatnot was really helpful. So I kind of missed that. And then also my friends, sitting down eating lunch with my friends, going to football games and whatnot. Definitely missed that a lot. And we've had to adapt through that.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's just the everyday life that we used to have. I definitely miss that.
It was just fast-paced and lively. Like I never realized how lively school was until I left. Because you wake up in a room like, oh, I have to go to school, and then it's like, wow, you have your principal yelling on the intercom, "Good morning, Panthers!" And I hated it every time he did it. And now I'm like, where is that? I need it in my life.
Yeah. Now you realize you missed everything about it. Yeah.
It's so interesting, and so I didn't get a chance to introduce myself at the beginning. Last year, I left the classroom as of last year to pursue more of the career that I'm doing now with career pathway building in the gaming industry and in video games. But, I graduated high school in 1996. I actually, interestingly enough, I had an opportunity to go to the Naval Academy. So I went to NAPS, which is their prep school, to see if I was going to like it. And it didn't quite stick with me. So I went to Tuskegee University, which was my first choice. I got a degree in construction science management and engineering. I went from there and I started teaching math, science, and history. I was career and college readiness advisor at my schools. I did it in APS and in California. I'm a youth minister. I'm a parent and a business owner. So just kind of that trajectory has been interesting. And I think you guys are, again, some of the best and brightest. And what you guys are going through, you've hit on every last one of those notes. And it's funny. Students will always tell me, "Mr. Thomas, you're doing too much in classroom." but I think they kind of missed me a little bit. They miss, like you said, Danielle. So that's awesome. Let's see the next question. What can teachers do to bring back that feeling of being on campus in their classroom? What would you like to see some of your teachers do? And Zainab, we'll start with you, and then Alexander, and then go to Danielle.
What would I like to see teachers do back in the classroom? Probably just checking in on students, seeing how they're adjusting once we get back, making sure we're following protocols for the CDC, and just helping everyone, just slowly get back to normal.
Definitely a more interactive online class, having students turn their cameras on or just asking questions to everyone. I think a lot of students just sit there, have their cameras off, and just listen to the whole thing, not really interacting. I feel teachers could do more with that to help kind of bring back the in-person feel.
This may seem like an odd request, but I like it when teachers incorporate themselves in the material, like when they shoot their own videos or they do their own voiceovers, or they record themselves doing something that involves the material. Like our art teacher would show herself doing the stuff. So that's how it brought the campus feel to me, because I'm used to seeing you all the time and just seeing you again at home. It's a lot closer instead of learning from someone else on YouTube or something like that.
Awesome. Interesting you would bring up the cameras. What do you think could help? Because, teachers in the classroom, we could walk next to you and make sure you were doing your work and everything like that. But online, we can't necessarily do that. So what is something teachers can do, or we can probably implement to help the students want to turn their cameras on? Y'all can just jump in.
An incentive?
Yeah.
Okay. Incentives like what?
Honestly, I don't know. Maybe extra credit points to a test. Like every day, if you do weekly quizzes, every day you have your camera on, that's 1 point towards your quiz. Because, I'll jump us some extra credit points. Even if I have 100, I will jump us some extra credit points. But
I know sorry, go ahead.
But if I don't have my camera on, it's because I just woke up. Honestly, with being at home in COVID, I might sleep over my alarm. And I'm like, oh, crap, I have school. And I just don't want everyone to see me looking a hot mess. So, yeah. An incentive, extra credit points will work. They've always worked.
I know last year I had one teacher who, if you put your phone in a cubby hole during class, you get a point every day, or build up to points added to a quiz or test. I think that could work here too. If you turn your camera on every day, you get a point or something like that. You could add to a test or quiz or towards your end grade.
Yeah, I think the same thing. Even my teachers now, they one of my teachers for my computer class, she says if we turn on our camera and just be more interactive and participate, she'll give us extra credit points.
Awesome. Next question I have for you guys. Let's see here. We kind of talked about the good, the bad, the ugly, what we could do to do things a little bit differently. What would be your advice we're going to do this in categories. We're going to do advice to fellow students, advice to teachers, advice to parents, and then advice to the school board and the superintendent. So let's start with your fellow students. What would be some of your advice to them on how they could better take advantage of what's going on, or just advice of how they just they're handling what's happening? One of those. So we'll start with Alex on that one.
Most definitely take advantage of all the time you have now. Now more than ever, we have a lot more time on our hands as students than last year or in-person school. So definitely utilize that. Work more towards classes or look into colleges or outside work. But I think most definitely managing your time wisely and utilizing it would be my suggestion.
Danielle, go ahead.
Yeah, I just feel like the world's at your fingertips. Everything you need is on the computer. So just do everything you can, because you never know when you have as much time as you do right now. And I understand if this is overwhelming, you need to take a break. So please take your breaks. But also realize that you can do so much during this time. Like, my school is usually four classes a semester. And with Onward, I was taking maybe 5 classes. So I was taking 5 on top of 2. So I was taking 7 classes a semester. And now I was taking 8 classes a semester last year. So like, just turn yourself up a notch because you have so much time, and just use it wisely. Like, if there's something you've been wanting to do but you never had time to do it now. If you wanted to start painting now. If you want to start gaming now. If you wanted to look into how to start cooking, start it now, because you have so much time. And just make sure you hit all your deadlines. Like, if you don't work good from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., that's fine. If you work good at 2 a.m. to 4 a.m., but you get all your work done in that period, that's fine. But make sure you're meeting this deadline, because there's 24 hours in a day and there's so much things you can do. So just make sure you have that little time for your work, and then the rest of the day, do things that you like, do things that you want to do things that will just invest in yourself. You want to start that business because you have so much time.
All right, Zainab.
Yeah, I definitely agree with what you said. Definitely, I've been trying to push myself more. I think I've been taking more like dual enrollment classes. Like, if you feel like, maybe do online learning maybe isn't pushing you as much, try to challenge yourself more and take harder classes and such.
Awesome. And Miss Taggart over at Stevenson High School put in a question, and I think it kind of dovetails perfectly here. It says, one of the students there at Stevenson was asking, how has the second semester schedule impacted you now that it's basically a year now that we've all been kind of in this pandemic? How do you feel it's impacted you? Zainab, we'll start with you.
I feel like I've definitely gotten a lot more used to it. I know like when to wake up, how long my classes. I know how to plan accordingly and get my work done. And yeah, just that.
Our first semester last year, I think there wasn't really a set schedule, so some days I'd wake up at 9:45, or I had my first class at 9:45, others I had at 10:45. But now, second semester, our first class starts around I believe 8:50. So I'm definitely waking up earlier, which I think has helped me become a little bit more organized myself, not sleeping in until almost noon. So I think it's helped me a lot, and we're learning a lot more with longer class periods, which I'm actually kind of thankful for. So yeah, I think it's been an improvement.
Awesome.
So, yeah, my friends have told me that. So I took high school classes last semester, so I knew that class was from 9:45 to about 1:50, and now school is from 8:15 to 3:15, and they have a difficult time sitting behind a computer for that long. So back to these 90-minute classes, because they usually get the material done in the 45 window. So sometimes they just sit and they're just sitting on camera if they get all their work done before then. But because I know it's hard to look at a screen for so long. So I liked the shorter online setting, because you don't have to go over as much, and you can go over what you need to go over, but then you do your work with the computer off, or you do your work just by yourself. So that's what I like that better. The second semester, I am completely asynchronous. I have to do everything on my own, and it does get tough because the deadlines pop up on you. Like, it's Monday, then you turn around, it's Thursday. So it's just keeping yourself in check and in line.
Awesome. And so you have some teachers actually sitting here viewing this. And so I'm going to combine a couple of questions from the teachers and the administrators here. What do you hope that the teachers continue with the district and continue when school kind of returns back to normal? And also, what have been some of the things that the teachers have done virtually? And I think you touched on it a little bit before, to help and some strategies they've implemented to help make this feel better. We'll start with you, Danielle.
Miss Malif, this is very selfish of me, but I love the 4-week work day. I love having Wednesday off. I don't know if we can make it happen when we go back. Well, I'll be in college, but if you can do it for them, that'd be amazing. I love having Wednesday off because you start the week strong, take a break, end the week strong, but you're still getting work done on your day off. You just have to be in anyone's face. And what I like that my teachers did, we played Kahoot over Zoom. I loved it. I had my phone. We played Kahoot. We get the questions right, all that. I love Kahoot. My favorite game. My favorite school game ever.
Alex?
Yeah, I definitely agree with the Wednesdays off thing. It's always been a thing I've wanted when we were in the pandemic. So it was kind of cool, and I think that'd be a cool thing to continue. Then also utilizing like online platforms like Google Classroom. I thought that really helped us this year. Like you can see your due dates, see what work you have, when your tests are and whatnot. And even when we go back to school, I think that'd be a great way to help students be on top of their work.
All right, and Zainab?
Yeah. I definitely agree about the Wednesdays for sure. It's definitely helped a lot, you know, helping me take a break and get all my work done. And a lot, just like, yeah, quizzes and Quizlet and Kahoot and all those have definitely made online learning a little more fun. Yeah.
It's interesting y'all say that because I know as a teacher, you know, we've always been asked to implement more technology in the classroom. And from the panel previously, the opening, I think one of the things that was talked about that the tech has always been there, but bittersweet COVID has caused us to use more of the tech in the classroom. And from hearing every one of you guys, it sounds like that would be something that would be greatly needed. I want to get back to the advice again. What would be some advice you would give to the board, the superintendent? And I would definitely say make sure y'all plug in for that Wednesday off type of or Wednesday STEM day, because that's what my daughters and sons get. And that seems pretty cool as well. But anything with that and anything else you think they should do from that standpoint? What would be some advice there?
This feels like our superintendent advisory board meetings.
Yeah.
Meetings are like, you know, you always want to say, what's on your mind, but you want to make sure you get everything out, and then you say it detailed so it's not taken the wrong way. So,
safe place. Say what you got to say. It's a safe place.
Yeah. With education, I've learned from this format that they're hitting the learning goals. So, but I don't want to sound like crazy. Before COVID and like before this, I wasn't really paying attention to learning goals. We'd get them at the beginning of the year. We'd get them in the syllabus, but I didn't really understand the learning goals. I wasn't looking for them. But now that I have to do everything on my own, not everything on my own, but now that I have to self-teach and I have to go into the material by myself, I look at those learning goals so much because that's what I need to know for the quiz. That's what I need to know for the test. And I want to tell everyone to take advantage of your learning goals, but sometimes learning goals are worded strange where I don't know where to look. So I don't know where that's coming from. So I'll just make sure the learning goals are straightforward, what we need to know in the classroom. Because like before this year, that's really strange because like now that's all I look at. I start off my little classroom setting looking at my learning goals, so what I need to learn for this week, so I can make sure I get it for that quiz and for that test. And I've never been as stressed for tests before my computer. And like some students, you know, they can take advantage of their computer and stuff like that. But for for college, they record me for my quizzes and tests. They record me to make sure that I'm the person taking the test and that we don't cheat or anything. And I've never been nervous. Like, and I can take a test in the classroom, no cheating, just doing the work, get 100, and I'm not nervous. But like, just sit in front of my computer and that camera comes on, I get so nervous. And I don't know why. So.
Understood.
Yeah.
Alex?
I think definitely we've come a long way from first to second semester. I think the county has done a great job with what we're doing now with the online school. But I think as we go, if we go back to school, definitely technology, like you said, it's a bittersweet thing. But I think we've gotten all a lot more used to technology and understood how to utilize it better in the school setting. So I think using technology to our benefit will be a large role or play a large role when we go back. I think we all, teachers, students, parents, we all got a better understanding of like how we truly do like in relation to school. So I think that's also helped us a lot, like with mental health and whatnot, and workloads. So, but yeah, I think that's it.
Zainab?
Yeah, I definitely. I think that when we do go back, I think it's really important that we don't rush into everything. You know, we take our time, whether that be using more technology in school or starting slowly. You know, I think it's important we take our time and really make sure we're comfortable going back and things.
My biggest worry for going back into school is getting used to someone else's pace. Like I've gotten so used to doing things on my own time, at my own speed, how fast I need to and how slow I need to. In a classroom, we have to move as a group. Well, we don't have to, but we're used to using we're used to moving up as a group. So whether that slows down some students or speeds up some students, it's going to be a difficult transition for them because they got so used to getting stuff done their way from this format.
That's kind of called, so I'm going to introduce a couple of things. Maybe some of you heard this language before, but project-based learning is what you guys have been thrusted into, and it seems to be working pretty well. Also, self-directed learning and education, because it's you that's directing your own pace. And it's interesting to know that you guys are paying attention to the learning goals and the outcomes, because usually as teachers, we kind of know that, but we don't spend a whole lot of time. We might put it up on the objective boards and you'll see the number designation for the standards, but we really don't talk about it. So to hear that you guys would be more interested in looking at that, I think that's something we definitely can make sure that we integrate in more. And the technology. And so the school board looking at all of the schools, because we know schools are not all equal, but to make sure that they are able to utilize the technology and it shows up more than just a lab. That's what I'm hearing from you guys. Do you think, I got a question, do you think that the virtual learning has prepared you for college or is preparing you for college? We'll start with you, Zainab.
Okay. I think it has. I think I've been pushing myself a lot more to take harder classes. Like I'm taking more college classes. Just started to get me, you know, a little used to how college works and things. And yeah, I've overall just been trying to push myself more and learning how to just self-learn by myself and just getting a schedule for myself.
Awesome. Alex?
Most definitely. I think this online school year has taught us to be more independent, and I think it's taught us it's helped us understand ourselves better, our working pace, what we can do, what we can't do. So I think that has prepared us in a sense for college. As with college, you're going to be more independent. You're going to have to do a lot more stuff on your own. So yeah, I think in a way, it's been this online learning has been a good thing. But yeah.
So yes, I am a dual enrollment student, and so at the end of this semester, I will have earned my associate's degree. So I've been doing college classes and a lot of them. I will have 60 credit hours, so I'm super happy. And that's where I picked up my niche for these learning goals, because that's the first thing they showed me when I started doing the college classes. And that's the first thing they pushed in my face, and that's the stuff that I need to learn. That's going to be on the quiz. So I took that over back into my high school, and then stuff became easier because I knew what I was looking for. And with like the high school classes and the Google Classroom format, you see the assignments and you know you need to get them done, but you don't really know like what I'm supposed to be learning this week. So that's why I look back to my learning goals. And honestly, being virtual has helped with my time management so much. And that's one of the most important things you need in college.
Awesome. And I know Miss Wall brought up a question. That was a good question. Also, I hope you guys are looking at the chat too, because you're getting a lot of thank yous and kudos for being the leaders that you are and really speaking your truth as students. And it's very important as educators that we remain student-centered in everything that we do. So this is the kind of feedback that we need as educators and as parents and as administrators to help you guys get what you need and get where you need to go. Ms. Wall brought up an interesting statement. Because I run a tech company, a lot of things are moving to technology based. And because you've been thrusted on here, do you really feel that what you've been learning so far is something that you can transfer to that? And I don't know what you guys' majors might have been, what you were thinking about, but are you now open to some majors that are maybe technology or STEM based? We'll start with Zainab.
Yeah, I think for the longest time, I was planning on majoring in biology and becoming a surgeon. But like as of my senior, it was this year actually that I decided, when I started looking more into software engineering, that I decided to change and major in computer science and become a software engineer.
All right. Alex?
Most definitely. I've learned a lot more about technology than ever. I like to go biomedical for college. So, and I feel biomedical is also probably going to be moving as everything with technology. So yeah, it's prepared me more. And I think it's helped me understand technology, how it's used in the real world also, in addition to school. So I think it's been very helpful, yes.
Yes, so with these college majors, there's always been a JD versus MD battle in my house. You know, my dad's like, go law. My mom's like, go med. And I'm like, okay. But honestly, technology, this semester has pushed me so towards business. So I'm taking my 3rd business class with Georgia State University. And I've learned so much about Excel and how it's going to be used in the business environment. So I'm really thankful for that, like with technology. And I'm taking plant resources in the environment lab. And even though it's an online format, and we do have some online labs, she allows us to do hands-on labs, and we'll record it for her. And I like that because we did an osmosis lab with potatoes and how they grow, or how they get really like crisp and starchy from the water and stuff. And I liked that it was hands-on because I learned from my own like observation. Like with an online lab, you type in or you click on something and it does it for you. But like I sat and I watched it. So it's just incorporating both and realizing that you have to do some of the stuff from home because your teacher's not going to be there with you.
All right, so I just want a quick housekeeping. The expo and networking areas are available until the closing of the session. The closing session begins. So I think we're about at time for this panel, which you guys have been awesome. You really have been awesome. I would challenge you guys to check the expo out. Check out what some of the partners are doing and some of the things that are available. And again, you know, one of the things as an educator that I want to make sure that all scholars know is that you have a voice in your learning. You have a voice in what you're doing. And what we want to know is how we can support you. And the only way we can really know how to support you is if you ask your questions, if you talk about what you like, if you share with us what you do like and what you don't like. So that we can figure out how can we make the environment even better for you. Thank you again for everything that you guys are doing. Thank you for the leadership that you're showing. Good luck at the next levels. Good luck with that computer science. Zainab, my wife has a PhD in computer science. She's a graduate of Spelman College, and she worked for IBM, and she's part of this company, and she teaches computer science at the collegiate level. So there's a lot you can do, and the world is open. I think that's one of the things that COVID has done for us as well, is bring the world even closer and allow us to, we're meeting like this and we're together, but I'm on Zooms with people across the country, across the world, in different time zones. So there's so many possibilities, and you guys are taking advantage of all those. So everyone, thank you for showing up, the students, the parents, and the teachers, for your questions and everything that you're doing. Ms. Mallett, thank you. All of the staff, Ms. Wall, Ms. Taggart, everyone over at Stevenson. Thank you to your teachers, because I can see your teachers' influence on you. So make sure when you get a chance to talk to those teachers at Southwest DeKalb and Chamblee and Stevenson, that you're able to let them know. Let them know they need to hear from you guys, okay? Hey, Ms. Fisher, how you doing? It's so awesome, man. This was great. So go ahead. We're going to go ahead and leave now. I want you guys to check out the other sessions later, but also make sure you go to check out the expo and everything else. So I appreciate all of you guys, and I'm going to do everything I can do to help guide you guys as well. You guys have my email and contact information. If you need me, call me. Alexander, we can talk a little bit about what was it like being at the Service Academy, and go through those things. So Danielle and Zainab, again, everything you guys do, hook me up. I'm a resource, okay? Don't be afraid to reach out to me. Thanks, guys. We're going to go close this down. And thank you again to our sponsors that have made this possible for this session. This has been very informative, and it's going to be a yearly thing that we do. So please make sure that you continue to focus in and learn with us, and have as much fun as possible. This is a new normal, new world. Guys, take advantage of it. It's at your fingertips. Okay. Talk to you later.
Thank you.